You're sitting at your desk trying to read something important. 2 sentences in, your mind wanders. You realize you've been staring at the same paragraph for 3 minutes without absorbing a single word. You grab your phone to check just one thing, and suddenly 20 minutes have vanished into a blur of notifications and scroll. Sound familiar? If you feel like your ability to focus has gotten worse over the years, you're not imagining it. Your focus isn't broken, it's been systematically hijacked. And the scary part, most people don't even realize it's happening. This isn't about willpower. It's not about discipline. Your brain hasn't suddenly become lazy or defective. What's changed is the environment your brain is trying to operate in, and that environment has been deliberately engineered to fracture your attention into smaller and smaller pieces. Let's talk about what's really happening to your focus, why it feels so much harder than it used to, and what you can actually do about it. The attention economy turned you into the product. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Dozens of the smartest minds in technology have spent the last 15 years figuring out how to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible. Not because they care about your well-being, because attention equals money. Every app, every platform, every notification is designed with one goal: keep you engaged. Pull to refresh wasn't invented to make your life easier. It was designed to mimic a slot machine. The dopamine hit you get from seeing new content is the same neurochemical reward that keeps gamblers pulling the lever. Autoplay on videos, infinite scroll on feeds, red notification badges that trigger urgency. These aren't bugs, they're features, and they're all working exactly as intended. Your brain evolved to seek novelty. In prehistoric times, noticing new things in your environment could mean the difference between finding food and becoming food. That same novelty-seeking mechanism now gets exploited every time you pick up your phone. Each swipe, each notification, each new piece of content gives you a tiny hit of dopamine that makes you want more. The result? Your brain has been conditioned to expect constant stimulation. Sitting with one task, one thought, one moment, it feels almost painful now. Not because you lack discipline, but because you've been training your brain to crave distraction for years. Think about it. When was the last time you sat through an entire meal without checking your phone? When did you last have a conversation without glancing at a screen? How many times today have you picked up your phone without even realizing it? These aren't personal failures. They're symptoms of a system designed to fragment your attention into smaller and smaller pieces, then sell those pieces to the highest bidder. Your brain wasn't built for this. Your brain is remarkable, but it wasn't designed for the modern world. Evolution optimized your attention for environments where threats were occasional and information was scarce. Today, you're drowning in both. The average person is exposed to more information in a single day than someone in the 15th century encountered in their entire lifetime. Your brain is trying to process thousands of stimuli, make hundreds of decisions, and filter through endless streams of content, all before breakfast. This creates something researchers call cognitive overload. Your brain has a limited capacity for attention and decision making. Every notification, every choice, every piece of information you process takes a small withdrawal from your mental account. By noon, you're often running on fumes, even if you haven't done any real work. And here's where it gets worse. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain can't actually focus on two things at once. What it does instead is rapidly switch between tasks, and every switch comes with a cost. Studies show that after an interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully return to your original task. 23 minutes. Now, think about how many times you got interrupted today. Checked a text, glanced at an email, responded to a message. Each one felt like just a second, but the recovery cost was massive. You're not getting less done because you're lazy. You're getting less done because your attention is being sliced into hundreds of tiny fragments throughout the day, and your brain never gets the sustained focus time it needs to do deep, meaningful work. The comparison trap is destroying your baseline. Social media doesn't just steal your time, it rewires how you experience your own life. Every time you scroll, you're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. That friend's perfect vacation, that influencer's perfect body, that entrepreneur's perfect success story. None of it is real, but your brain doesn't know that. Your brain sees these images and makes a simple calculation. My life isn't measuring up. And that feeling, that constant low-level anxiety that you're falling behind, fractures your focus even more. You can't be present when you're constantly comparing. You can't focus on what you're building when you're distracted by what everyone else appears to have built. The comparison trap doesn't just make you feel bad, it makes it nearly impossible to engage deeply with anything because you're always somewhere else mentally. And the worst part, the platforms know this. They know that content that triggers comparison, envy, or outrage keeps you engaged longer. So they show you more of it. The algorithm isn't neutral, it's optimized to keep you scrolling by showing you exactly what will keep you slightly dissatisfied and endlessly searching. You've forgotten what boredom feels like. When was the last time you were genuinely bored? Not for 30 seconds waiting in line, but truly, deeply bored for an extended period. If you can't remember, that's a problem. Boredom is an emptiness. It's a space where creativity happens, where your brain processes information, where ideas connect in unexpected ways. All those shower thoughts and breakthrough moments don't happen because water is magic. They happen because the shower is one of the few places you're not consuming content. But we've optimized boredom away. Waiting for coffee, check your phone, commuting, podcasts, walking, music, cooking, YouTube video. We filled every single gap in our day with input, leaving zero space for our brains to process, reflect, or create. Your ancestors spent hours each day with nothing but their thoughts. They stared at fires, walked long distances, worked with their hands while their minds wandered. That mental idle time wasn't wasted. It was essential. It's when your brain consolidates memories, makes connections, and solves problems. Today, the moment your brain tries to idle, you panic and reach for stimulation. You've trained yourself to fear the discomfort of having nothing to do. But that discomfort is actually your brain asking for the space it needs to function properly. Without boredom, you lose the ability to think deeply. Without idle time, your brain never gets to rest and reorganize. You're running at full speed constantly and wondering why you feel scattered and unfocused. Sleep is the hidden casualty. Nothing destroys focus faster than poor sleep, and nothing destroys sleep faster than screens. The blue light from your devices suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. Scrolling before bed isn't just keeping you up later, it's actively preventing your brain from entering the deep sleep stages where memory consolidation and cognitive recovery happen. Most people check their phones within minutes of waking up and within minutes of going to sleep. You're bookending your entire day with the one activity most guaranteed to fragment your attention and disrupt your circadian rhythm. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it makes you impulsive, emotional, and unable to sustain attention. After even one night of bad sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for focus, planning, and decision-making, functions at a significantly reduced capacity. You're trying to fix your focus during the day while systematically destroying it every night. The late night scrolling, the anxiety-inducing news before bed, the notifications that wake you up, all of it compounds into a chronic deficit that makes sustained attention nearly impossible. What actually works? Understanding the problem is half the battle, but understanding alone won't change anything. You need strategies that work in the real world, not in theory. Start with your mornings. The first hour of your day sets a tone for everything that follows. Get sunlight in your eyes before screens. Move your body before you move your thumbs. Give your brain a chance to wake up naturally instead of immediately flooding it with information and obligations. Even 10 minutes of phone-free morning time can shift your entire day. You're training your brain that it doesn't need constant stimulation to function. Create friction around distraction. Make the bad habits slightly harder and the good habits slightly easier. Delete social media apps from your phone. You can still access them through a browser, but the extra steps create just enough friction to break the automatic reach. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Yes, all of them. If something is truly urgent, people will call. Everything else can wait. Charge your phone outside your bedroom. Use a real alarm clock. Make checking your phone require actual effort. Practice multitasking. Pick one thing and do only that thing for a set period. No background music, no other tabs, no phone nearby, just you and the task. Start with 15 minutes if you need to. The goal isn't perfection, it's proving to your brain that sustained focus is still possible. Use the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of focused work, 5 minutes of break. During the break, don't check your phone. Stand up, stretch, look outside. Give your brain a real reset, not just different stimulation. Embrace boredom intentionally. Once a day, do nothing for 5 minutes. No phone, no music, no input. Just sit or walk with your thoughts. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is your brain remembering how to exist without constant entertainment. This practice isn't about productivity, it's about reclaiming your ability to be present with yourself. Protect your sleep like it matters, because it does. Set a digital sunset, no screens for at least 30 minutes before bed. Read a physical book, journal, stretch, do anything that doesn't involve blue light and algorithmic feeds. Your brain needs that transition time to prepare for sleep. When you scroll until you pass out, you're not falling asleep. You're just shutting down mid-stimulation. Build attention like a muscle. Your focus isn't gone, it's just untrained. Every time you resist the urge to switch tasks, check your phone, or seek distraction, you're strengthening your attention span. Start small. Read for 10 minutes without distraction. Have a conversation without checking your phone. Eat a meal without any screens. These tiny wins compound into real capacity over time. The truth about getting your focus back. Your focus didn't disappear overnight, and it won't return overnight. You've spent years training your brain to expect constant stimulation, rapid task switching, and immediate dopamine hits. Reversing that takes time and consistency. But here's what nobody tells you. The moment you start protecting your attention, everything else gets easier. Decisions become clearer, work feels more meaningful, relationships deepen. You stop living in a state of constant partial attention and start actually experiencing your life. This isn't about becoming a productivity robot or abandoning technology. It's about using tools instead of being used by them. It's about recognizing that your attention is the most valuable resource you have. And right now, you're giving it away for free to systems designed to exploit it. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you're voting for the person you want to become. Every time you protect your attention, you're building the mental capacity to create, think, and live intentionally. Your focus feels worse because the world around you has become deliberately more distracting. But you're not powerless. You can build back your attention span, one small choice at a time. The question isn't whether you can fix your focus. The question is whether you're willing to make different choices than the ones that got you here. Your brain is waiting for you to give it the space it needs to do what it does best, think deeply, create meaningfully, and be fully present in your own life. Start today. Start small, but start. Because the person you'll become when you reclaim your focus isn't just more productive, they're more alive.